Asher Dad here. I'm just gonna go over this Dungeons & Dragons game. I was super excited to see Dungeons & Dragons as a game, and I've been playing it now for about the last week, off and on, and I feel like I'm in a pretty good space to provide my feelings and impressions on it. Overall, I find it kind of repetitive. So here's why. So first, you have all of your normal, like, let me, microtransaction kind of thing where you're trying to get as much money out of us as possible, right? And you've got 3 different ways to fight, and you've got your team, and everybody on your team can be leveled up with new items and so on. There's only so many different items that you can have, and you just kind of wait for that to happen. So let me give you an example of that. This is the whole game in a nutshell. So let me say that I'm going to do player versus player, okay? And if I go to player versus player, it's going to take my people, and it's going to take somebody else's people, and they're exactly the same people. And so you know what kind of powers they have, and you know what kind of thing they can do. Look at that. It's exactly the same. And we're going to be ranked pretty similar. We even have the same kinds of weapons and outfits and stuff, because there's only one way to progress. It's just a completely linear progression. There's a time limit at the top. This person's barely moving, and then I'm just gonna take away some attack with them. I had the cool sword on this, but the shield for this character seems to be a little bit better. Give myself some shields too. The only thing that changes over time is that your power goes up, and so does their defense go up. So you end up getting the exact same things over and over again, just at a higher level. And you can say, well, that's all role-playing games. Not all role-playing games are exactly the same. Some have significant customization, but this doesn't have significant customization. It's just the same path for everybody. You don't even get to change the names of your characters or pick the kinds of things that you get. It's just, it is what it is. And you are kind of just stuck going through the motion. The only difference to your team is that I didn't know when I was first playing that that I was only going to get characters very slowly. That I wasn't going to be able to get the same characters everybody else did. So when I first started playing PvP battles, I was really surprised to see that dragon axe person in the back, and I was like, who is this? And he was frankly killing me all the time, because he can fire from a long ways away, and he has multiple shots. If I had known that that was the case, I would have gone and got him earlier in this in this game, because there were some people that I got that I'm just like, why did I do that? And I'll show you that in a second. You have areas of control. So for instance, his elf guy there is controlling the area. We can't move up next to him. Now we can, of course, just in time to die, but whatever. And that's the whole thing. After a while, the 5 zones, the 5 layers, the 2 outside layers will start to turn on fire like Bomberman, forcing you into the middle, so you can't just sit in the back and stare at each other forever. Kills go up at the top, and you're earning a chest, and you earn a time chest. You get very little, look at that, 5,000 experience to move up, and you're getting 10 per battle. It takes forever at the high, once you get to the first 4 levels, which is pretty fast. It takes forever to get any further than that without buying stuff. Challenges are these maps. I haven't unlocked them all, but it's exactly the same thing every single time. The challenges or the explore. Basic explore is these 4 rune places here. You go into these runes. You fight through basically 3 rooms with harder and harder enemies, and then you finish that level, and then you move to the next rune. When you get to the end of your when you get to the end of your three or four rooms to get to the boss, you unlock the boss. So on this screen, the ogre is a boss from a previous one. The ghost chick is a boss from a previous one. The goblin archer is just a regular goblin archer. But once they're unlocked, and then they just become part of that as well. And so you end up getting this repetition that's the same. These ones have the same powers. You don't know if it's going to attack 2 until you get a critical, which happens. That's the little red thing. The little gray spinny thing by walk is the critical. If it spins a critical, it turns red and you get the bonus piece part of it as well. His bonus is to attack when he moves. And then there you go. There's room number 1. Same map. Some maps have like some parts of the map are not accessible, so there's choke points. But it's basically the same over and over again. That two-headed goblin or two-headed ogre was also one of the previous bosses. And then you go. This, by the way, is a bard. The bard is the one that I would not have gotten early on. It's more powerful. She's more powerful now, but I would have took that draconian or something archer. If I could go back and do it again, I would have took that one right away, because that one is pretty powerful. And here you go. There's room number 2. Here's room number 3. It'll be the same thing again. Sometimes the other door isn't there, and sometimes it opens up with a secret door, and you just get a chest. I'll show you what the chest is. This is basically the same thing every time. Fix her. Oh, fire truck. I hope they're okay. Well, he rolled a good roll there and got a critical. Nice. Well, that was short-lived. The queen one is pretty powerful. Hey. This one I'm going to move and get up here so I can attack the queen. Yeah, whatever. I can do taunt and they all have to attack that one. Here, I'll do a don't attack me one and see if it works. I don't think it'll work. Oh, it did work. Nice. The little white lines tells you who's next to go. So in this case, a barbarian ogre or whatever is first. Then actually I've got the mage and then the bard before this one gets to go. So that's not going to go well for this. So you can attack the one that you know is coming out next. This chick always says something. Doesn't matter. You get your experience. Again, super small amounts of experience. I got a basic chest, so I'm going to get a little bit of money. A few of these items, which apparently there are unlimited ones of them. Here's a good example. 118 of these. You collect them, and now if you wanted to, you can go to the next level and do it again. The only difference between this and challenges is these are timed ones, and you will do the 3 over and over again. So you'll do the 2 lead up attack rooms, and then you'll do a boss room. If you do a boss room, you get a die, a 20-sided die. And then you do another 3, and then another 3, and you can earn up to 3 20-sided dice. And then you roll at the end, and here's the bummer thing. If you earn 2 die, all that means is you get to choose which of the 2 things you win. So, for instance, 500 gold might be number 20. And 3 gems might be number 1, and every one of the numbers has that. You roll it, you get whatever it is. You can pick the one you want out of the ones that show up, and if you get doubles, you get they merge together, which is cool. But still, you're getting almost nothing, and you just do it over and over and over again until you get these characters who, like for instance, in this wizard, you get so many of these things. You can upgrade your old weapons. But when you do, what you're really doing on old